The many-year interpretation of Hugh Everett appeared in 1957 and became one of the most daring ideas in physics. She claims, when a quantum event occurs with several possible outcomes, the world does not choose one option, but is divided into several branches where everything is realized. The example is simple. Throwing a cube, we see 4, but in other parallel branches, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 fall out in other parallel branches. In each of these realities, there is a version of an observer that fixes its result. It turns out that the universe is indefinitely multiplying, and each of us exists in countless versions. This interpretation is convenient in that it removes the need for the mysterious collapse of the wave function. But she has unexpected philosophical consequences. If all options are implemented, it means that events associated with human life also have different outcomes. The idea of the so-called quantum immortality is born here. It is based on the fact that with any threat, even if the chance of survival is minimal, there is at least one branch where a person continues to live. Subjective consciousness, according to the hypothesis, does not perceive those branches where it was interrupted, and turns out only where it continues. This means that, from the point of view of the person himself, the end may not be. There will always be a feeling that events have developed in favor of continuing existence, even in an incredible way. For example, if the probability of salvation is only 1%, then in the vast majority of branches, a person dies, but in one of them he still remains alive. In the hypothesis of quantum immortality, it is this branch that becomes a subjective continuation of its experience. However, serious problems are hiding here. Firstly, the very multi-year interpretation itself remains a philosophical interpretation and not proven by truth. Secondly, the connection of consciousness with quantum processes is still not clear. It is not clear what exactly follows the branch of survival: personality, memory, or some other aspect of consciousness. There are philosophical difficulties. If the hypothesis is true, the immortality of the subject does not look like a utopia. A person will exist in the branches where his life continues, but the price of this is incredible situations, constant miracles of survival, and possibly endless aging. Such a scenario is closer to an endless chain of tests than to harmony. Despite criticism, the idea of quantum immortality remains one of the most discussed. It forces you to think about what a person is, how consciousness works, and how complicated is more complicated than our ideas. Perhaps there really is no end for a subjective perception, but this remains nothing more than an exciting hypothesis at the junction of physics and philosophy.